Hi, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Coach's Corner and Player Profile here on YSN. It is the championship edition, and I am joined at this time by three very outstanding members of the Astro 16U organization that were a big part of that championship. Right below me, I've got the manager, Steve Leslie, of the 16U Astro Falcons, the MVP of the series, AJ Havrilla, and the ace on the bump, Anthony Miller. Guys, welcome.
How you doing? Hi, boys. Good to see you again.
What's up?
You too. What's up?
Thanks for spending some time with us here today. We are live on all our social media platforms. Right now, Governor DeWine's conference going on. A lot of things up in the air, but it's been like that for a while. The first question I have for you guys before we get to the championship is, how did this season go for you? What was different, and how did it play out for you? Was it anything like you imagined it, a month and a half ago? Coach, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it was a little different, but obviously I think our kids did a really good job of staying focused and, remaining hopeful that there would be a season. But to be able to play 39 games with this group under the circumstances was phenomenal for us. I thought the park did a great job, with social distancing and being able to play down the park. And obviously on my end of it, a big salute for our parents that we're all four going to play some tournaments. So we were able to play in 3 tournaments too. So a pretty normal year. We were short, probably, in that 15 to 20 game range for a normal year, but very pleased with being able to play 39 games.
Anthony, when you look at the seasons you've had the past couple of years, this one a little bit more condensed, probably a few more games back to back to back when you look at it. What was it like for you? Did it kind of go the way you thought it would, or was there things obstacles you had to overcome?
Yeah, well, if you would have told me we were going to play 40 games before the season started, I would have told you were crazy. So it was a blessing to be able to play 40 games this year, but it was a lot on our arms and stuff, and I had to take care of my arm a little bit more than I usually did, and watch my pitches and watch what I was doing and stretch more. And it was tough, but it was a blessing to be able to play that many games.
AJ, how about you?
I think we adjusted well to the schedule. We adapted well. We got our games in, we got our work in, but it was definitely different. But it was a good season.
A good season it was. You guys end up winning the championship. Coach, when you look at this, I mean, every goal at the beginning of the season is to win a championship, but this was a season that was for the kids. When you can do it for the kids and still come out holding the big trophy, what's that like?
I think it's very special. This year is really special, just like you said, for the circumstances they were under. I mean, you're talking about kids that were, under the gun, doing school from home, not really believing that there was going to be a baseball season. So very special for me and very special for Bob Seen and our organization, Scott Rourke, Bob Beam, and myself. Very proud of this group, and it's a very talented group with a lot of bright futures.
Bright futures, exactly. And you've got a couple of them here, as if I can get this picture out of there. A couple guys right here with some very bright futures. AJ, you were the MVP of the series. You were chosen from so many options, but you had one hell of a series. Talk about kind of your mentality going into that championship series. You guys were able to sweep your way through. I mean, was it something where you just felt like you had to get through it in 3 games, or do you think you guys could have went the distance?
Oh no, I definitely I trusted my team. I trusted our arms on the bump. I just was doing my job, tried to do my job every time at the plate. It was a great team effort for our win, and I love this team so much this year. It meant a lot.
I'm with you. And when you look, Anthony, at the championship, does this championship stand out any more than the other ones that you've accrued over? With everything you had going up against you, does this one – these guys are playing Wii behind me, so I apologize for what's going on. Does this one mean a little bit more given the circumstances of what you had to overcome?
Yeah, I mean, I think this year was definitely the most memorable year because of everything that happened. So this is definitely a year I'll remember forever with the shortened season and stuff. Everything this year really meant a lot to me. I'm really proud of our guys, and it meant a lot to be able to bring it home with them.
Coach, when you look at your record, 34-4-1 as a manager in 2020, it's been a minute since you took the head skipper role. What does it mean to you to come back and win your first year back under an organization that you've grown up a part of and basically embedded in the fabric of Astro Nation?
Well, I think it goes to a lot of things. I talked with these guys in the team last night about it. And the biggest thing for me is getting back into coaching. I enjoyed every second of it, but being involved in sports, you get connected with a group very easily. You start to grow relationships, and this group will be close to my heart for a long time because you're talking about not only great players, but they represent Astro Falcons baseball so well. Their families support all they do. So, for me, it's special for sure. And but I got to give credit to our kids. I do. I'm not the easiest guy to play for sure. I am tough. They understand that I'm honest, but they also know that the tough love also represents that I really care about them. So as a group, I could not be happier for them. I think that I told them this last night that this team right here, from top to bottom, bought into what we were doing. And I use the word share with them a lot. This baseball team had a lot of players that could played every inning on a lot of baseball teams, but bought into what we were trying to do. And that's what made it special.
Ant, let's go to you real quick. You look at that stat at the bottom, 228 runs for and 38 runs against. As a pitcher, tell me that doesn't make you and you're not a PO. You work both sides of the baseball. Tell me that doesn't make you a little excited to take the bump every 4 or 5 days.
It does. We have a great defense. I'd put our defense against anybody in the league. And you go into the game with so much more confidence knowing that, you could just put the ball over the plate, let them put it in play, and your defense would make the plays for you. So, that is an incredible stat, and it gives you a lot of confidence as a pitcher when you're toeing the rubber.
AJ, on the other side of that, when you look at what you've got on the bump, defensively, wherever you're at on the field, when you take your hacks at the dish, knowing that you've got pitchers that have your back the same way that you have theirs, what is that like for you?
Oh, no, you definitely know you can let it fly at the plate a little bit because you got the pitchers backing you up all the time. But, yeah, it was amazing. Our offense produced every single game this year, and we just had our pitchers back us up all the time. It was a great team.
All right, Ant, back to you. We're going to talk a little bit about your season as a whole. You were the ace for the staff. You're garnering attention nationwide at the next level. You batted .385. We're on base over half the time that you were up. And you had that, 1.08 ERA with 17 Ks and 6 walks. What was the biggest challenge for you this year? I guess you did so much right. What was the biggest thing that you had to kind of work on as an individual player?
Definitely making adjustments to the plate. Like, you didn't have many at-bats before the season. It was hard to go work out somewhere or swing. So, stepping in the box, making the adjustments you needed to make, and starting to get back into the swing of things. It took me a little while, but that was the biggest challenge for me, is just trying to get back into everything so fast and do my job as best as I could.
Were there any challenges for you 60 feet, 6 inches away from the plate?
Just some little command earlier in the year, just trying to get all my stuff to work how it was at the end of last year. And it wasn't anything serious, but I needed a little work with my control a little bit and developing a third pitch, which I ended up doing. So those were probably my challenges on the mound, and I think I improved them pretty well.
I think you did pretty doggone well, young man. AJ, when you look at your season offensively, this is by far the best season you've had, and you've done it you played a little bit at 18 as well. 452 batting average, unbelievable. 648 on base percentage, 13 RBIs, but the most impressive statistic we have is 27 walks. Pitchers didn't want to throw to you. I mean, you were able to still compose yourself like a young Barry Bonds, and you were on base like almost 700 or 70% of the time. So when you look at that, what was the biggest challenge for you at the dish of being able to just be patient?
Yeah, no, definitely staying patient. Started towards more the end of the year. Pitchers started to work around me a little bit. Just trying to lay off as best as I could and wait for that one pitch I could go get.
I can appreciate that. Give me a quick just synopsis, guys, on your teammates. We don't want to make it all about you, naturally. Your team guys, what were your teammates like this year? You guys had a solid team top to bottom. Talk about your teammates. Coach talked about sharing. What was that like for you to be able to have to share it a little bit across the board with your boys?
Oh, I think I know for this year definitely was one of the best teams I ever had on and off the field. I'm real close with everyone on the team. We have a close bond now. Some stuff I'll never forget in my life came from this team. Some friends I'll never forget. It's just it was an amazing year in the dugout. Even just so much fun.
And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, this was the closest bond I ever had. I could call these guys brothers for the rest of my life. I mean, we had so much fun. We all got along so well, and I'd put those guys up against almost anybody in the country. I mean, we just battled and had a bond, and it was just incredible this year with everybody.
Coach, when you hear that, what does that mean to you? I mean, just hearing them talk about their teammates.
It makes me happy, and I say this because you have 2 young girls. So, my end of it's not all baseball, DJ. It really isn't. I watch them, how they are, how they represent themselves. And I'm going our 18-year-old team too, and our 16-year-old team. But as a parent and as a coach, my daughter is heavily involved in our organization. And AJ and Anthony know she's probably their biggest supporters. But it's good to know as a dad that you have bigger brothers for your daughter to kind of keep an eye on, look at things. So that does not surprise me what they say, because that's who they are. I think that's what made this group special, and that comes with great parents that we've had. They all have great parents. We talk about that a lot, but you don't get any better than the group of kids we get to do the things that we like to do, and I think that's special to hear that, because let's be honest, nowadays egos come into play. And I did not all year long have one person ask me, how come I'm not playing more? Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And these 2 are a big part of that. They know that when we get up big on somebody, they know they're coming out, and they know that other guys are going in to hit. And that's huge for me to hear that. Those 2 say that, but I'm not surprised at all, because they represent us well in a lot more many ways than baseball games.
All right, guys. As much as I'd love to keep the kumbaya going, we are a competitive network, and we've got to talk about this PBR Futures Game face-off. It's going to be – I can see it in my head right now. Ant Miller against AJ Havrilla. Who has the advantage? Guys, make your case. We'll start with AJ first.
OHIO, baby. We're bringing it home. We're bringing it home.
All right, Ant. What do you got for AJ?
I haven't heard the end of this for about 3 weeks now. Team PA is where it's at. We're going to throw some studs against them. I'm going to be talking smack on them all game.
Coach, when you see this, the competitiveness of these guys, they're always competitive in whatever they do. When you see these 2 going against each other, I don't want to say who do you root for, but what do you root for?
Well, first of all, I love Anthony Miller, but I got to go AJ. OHIO. No,
yes,
but honestly,
sir.
I think I think this is a great thing for them. These 2 have earned the opportunity to represent their states. Nate Shaw is also playing, and Brady Shannon's also playing, so some good representation for our league. I'm excited because I'm going to get the chance to go up and watch them play for a couple days and sit back and not be coached, not
have to pop them tums.
Bitter guy, not be those types of things. Just watch 2 kids that I care about dearly go and compete against one another. And that's who they are. They're going to want a piece of one another when they see one another in another uniform. So that's special.
I love it. Yeah, the competitiveness is where it's at. That's where we're from. It's the area. It's Western Pennsylvania. It's Northeast Ohio. Nothing against AJ. I love you, Moose, but I saw Ant has that 724 number. I've had one since I was at West Virginia. Let's even it out. I'll go with Ant. So just because I know AJ is going to try to prove me wrong. Guys, I mean, there's so many memories that you're going to take away from this season, good, bad, indifferent. Let's talk about your best memory of the 2020 season that is not the championship that you guys had last night. We'll have Coach go last. AJ, why don't you lead us off?
I think it was that first weekend coming together as a team. I got to know a lot of the new guys even more. We brought them into the team as a family, and it was a great weekend. We had fun, and it was definitely something I won't forget.
All right, over to you, Ant.
Okay. Just definitely, I remember I had a really bad. I I think 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. This was probably my best memory. And I was bummed out in the dugout. Didn't want to talk to anyone. I was just mad at myself. And after the game, I think almost everybody on the team texted me and said, you're good. You got this. Just keep doing you. And that's when I kind of realized, like, these are my guys. They have my back.
That support system.
Yep. And that's exactly that was probably the best memory, is checking my phone after that game and everyone texting me and letting me know that it'll all be good.
That's a special moment. Special moment. Steve, what about you?
Wow, that's a tough one. I have a couple, and I'm going to use last night as my closer. But the first one, DJ, again, is about the bond that this group has. Grace was pretty sick for quite a while, and I put out a text to the kids like I do every day and our parents and asked for a little prayer for her test the following day. Indeed, within 10 minutes, I got a response from every one of the players, a heart, and Grace was on that text. So that's special from that end. And these guys will probably agree with me. Last night was special for me because you cannot win and do what we do without guys that don't give up a lot to be a part of us. And I'm going to go Aiden Miller. Had a chance to play on a lot of different teams this year. We had a lot of conversations. I'm very close with their family. They're family to me. And Aiden insisted on being a part of us and did not care how much he played. And for him to get the walk-off hit last night, I watched our kids react. Not real pumped about winning the championship, because I don't even think that was in their thoughts, but they were all out to Aiden Miller ending the game. And I think that sums up the type of baseball team we were and how close this group is and how close they will continue to be.
Love it. Congratulations, guys. Once again, proud of you. The class of the Class B League right here on this screen, and your teammates as well. I want to thank you for your time. I want to make sure that you guys take care of business whenever you go to that PBR against each other, but more importantly, take care of each other, and we'll talk to you soon, boys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.